I'm gonna try to get this all in one take. So basically, I made this TikTok video 3 days ago about how they added backshot protection to Forsaken. And 3 days ago, I didn't read the Forsaken rules, so I didn't know that, you know, backshots or teabagging or W keying is not allowed in Forsaken. Even though I never knew this, I just played the game. So this is right here. This rule was added the 30th of March. Toxicity. WSing people after they ask you to stop is not allowed. I don't get why people cannot follow the rules. Because this is why they made backshot protection. That's the reason. And there's people saying, oh, it's because of sexual assault. Oh, it's because of lolicon. Oh, it's because of pedophilia. Oh, it's because of grape. No, you cannot grape somebody on Roblox. You cannot sexually assault somebody on Roblox. That's not what it's called. It is called sexual assault. And even though it's sexual assault, you can leave. You have the option to leave in every single Roblox game. It's not like they disabled that feature too. It's not like you can disable that feature too when you're making a Roblox game. What I meant. Here's some screenshots. This is crazy. I said in my initial reply that kids also do this backshotting thing, and there's bigger problems to worry about, like Roblox condos and pedophiles in the Roblox community. And this is what they said. That shows how terrible Roblox is. Even if it's a kids on kids, it doesn't make it okay. It is W King. It is toxicity. It is teabagging. It is the equivalent of teabagging. You're and then they say, but the same could be said for lolicons. No one mentioned lolicons, but I wanted to make that comparison to show the double standard. There is no double standard. This is what double standard means. A rule or principle which is unfairly applied in different ways to people or whatever. There is no double standard between W keying and lolicons. This is what lolicons means. Attraction to young girls. There was a book where a middle-aged man becomes sexually obsessed with a 12-year-old girl, and you think W keying is on the same level of lolicons? You need help. Get off the internet and think a little bit in the brain and see what you said, because this is not normal to say. I sent this to multiple of my friends. They said, this is not normal to say. This is weird to say. W keying is near harmless. I shouldn't say is harmless. I should have added word saying a little harmless or maybe kinda harmless. But you get my point. Lollies is nowhere near W King. And they didn't even mention the fact that I mentioned condos, because I'm pretty much sure I mentioned the Roblox condos. All they cared about is the W King and comparing it to lollies. I think this person is weird because you're comparing W King to something weird. I think this person's weird. Next screenshot. Virtual sexual assault. You can leave on Roblox. You have the option to leave on every game. You can't disable that. There's no way to disable leaving the game in the code. You can disable resetting your character, but you cannot disable leaving the game in the code of your Roblox game. It's possible to leave virtual sexual assault so easily, but this isn't virtual sexual assault. We're talking about Roblox. This does not exist on Roblox. But I won't say anything else because it's just a small little comment. This. I was arguing with this person saying that we were talking about Roblox, not real life. And I said no kid is gonna think a movement in Roblox is gonna make them, backshot somebody IRL. This person said kids can grow up and do it to younger kids, and the old kids will grape a little kid thinking it is okay. You know how wrong this is? You know how stupid this sounds? You know how weird this sounds? Some of the kids on Roblox who doesn't know what sex is, doesn't know what the Roblox teabagging is, and doesn't know the Roblox teabagging means sex in some people's words. In my opinion, I think it means teabagging. But no kid is gonna grow up to grape another kid because of Roblox. You know how stupid that sounds? You know how weird that sounds? You must be tweaking and you must be saying anything to try and get me to think otherwise. This is incorrect. I have never seen a single case in my life where somebody graped somebody because they saw a movement on Roblox. Next comment. These two people said this because I said it's two keyboard keys. Maybe I should have removed they'll live because some people get uncomfortable. But I've never said skinny dipping in front of children. Nobody said this. You're saying that because this is what you're thinking. This is what you're thinking when you see people who are disagreeing on the opinion that you're agreeing on. People live through grape. Is that an excuse? Are you serious? You're mentioning grape, which you cannot escape, by the way. It takes a while to open up about it to somebody. I feel bad for people who gone through grape. I do not support it. But just saying that because of this is crazy. Where do you get these two keyboard keys and shift lock? Just where? How do you even think about this from it's just two keyboard keys and shift lock? Because it's the truth. It is two keyboard keys and shift lock. I don't get why people want to make more scenarios. No, not more scenarios. Just put random words and say, oh, so this is what you're talking about, huh? So this is what you mean, huh? No, this is not what I mean. It's two keyboard keys. You can leave anytime. You can even ignore the person. They can't even do anything behind the screen either because it's virtual games. So why are you saying this? There's no reason to say this because somebody disagrees with an opinion that you agree with. I would never do a skinny dipping in front of a child. And this isn't an excuse. I never made an excuse for anything. All I said was it's just two keyboard keys and shift lock. This person replied to this with pedophile mentality. Pedophile mentality is an actual person who's attracted to kids going to lure children into their trap. And this happens in Roblox. Actual people attracted to kids are luring children into Roblox condos. An active problem. A problem that is literally happening now. It is happening nearly every day, probably, that kids are being lured in by pedophiles to go meet them at their house in a Roblox condo. I've seen videos by Schlepp and Gideon catching these weirdos. They work their tails off catching these people. And you're false, whatever it's called, somebody, you're calling somebody else a pedophile because they said it was two keys and whatever. That's that's weird. That's weird. Why are you doing that? You're calling other people pedophiles. That's weird. And then we have this comment. Why are we bringing gender? Why are we bringing gender into something that is so small, so little? By the way, the poster that I like to comment is a guy. Congrats. We just love getting guys beat. You know how stupid this comment sounds, considering half of the comments on here is liked by me, because half of these comments were made the day the video came out, and usually I like every comment, but it just blew up so hard to the point I couldn't even like any more comments. If you're saying this, I'm gonna just think you're sexist on the spot. And this one, a feature that deter people from being able to sexually harass children on Roblox, a children's game. You think that's so useless? In my initial reply, I said it was kind of useless, implying that it was a half and half. Now, I think you're implying that I'm saying that is completely useless. Reminding you again, they added this anti-backshot feature because of toxicity, not sexual harassment. Well, probably kind of sexual harassment, but definitely not that. Mainly, not sexual assault, not pedophilia, not rape, toxicity. This was made over 4 months ago, and people didn't follow it. They kept doing it, so they enforced the rule. That's what you do. If nobody follows the rules, you enforce it. And you think they added this mainly because of sexual harassment. That's what I'm gonna think from your comment right here, because this is the main thing you said. No other words are on this comment. It would have had a few dots. Now, I'm not saying people can't get sexually harassed on Roblox, but they just didn't add this feature to combat sexual harassment. Who in their right mind would go on Forsaken to sexually harass somebody as stupid? Anyway, to the people who are uncomfortable with this and have been told to be server hop, that is like one of the options, like leaving, server hopping, joining a different game, shutting off Roblox. You are fueling these strollers. It is solutions, but the number one main solution that you should always do is ignore. If you ignore, there's gonna be no need for other steps, no need for the troller getting reactions, because you're just fueling them more and they're gonna do it more to you if you tell them to stop, if you server hop, because they're gonna do it more to more people, if you understand what I'm even saying, and just etc. So, if you can't ignore them and you're way too uncomfortable with them, I recommend hiding. I said hiding. I recommend looking away from the screen or getting distracted while also looking away from the screen until the game starts. Because that's the most easiest method you can do right now. And finally, this. I agree with the most. This opinion the most. Not only is it super avoidable, the people who are using the term sexual assault and calling people pedos for doing it are just slinging words around. It is not sexual assault, it is sexual harassment. It's not that serious. Ignore it and move on with your life. Don't give them attention or they do it more. Also, the person doing it isn't attracted to kids. They aren't ruining the kid's innocence. They are pressing two keys on their keyboard, which the kid wouldn't understand anyway unless they know what sex is. And probably like 90%, 80%, or 70% of kids don't even know what sex is. And they do this on Roblox. So, I'm gonna say this now. If there's something wrong with my opinion and you want to criticize me about it, criticize me nicely. Because nice communication is key. Just give me details on why you think it's a bad opinion. Just criticize me nicely about it. Because I made this video because too many people are comparing a blocky game and with people doing it as so many terrible things. So if you think that lolicon, pedophilia, rape, sexual assault is on the same level as W King, do not interact. Please just continue on with your day because you're weird. You need to get off the internet for a bit and start thinking. Anyways, I tried to make this video as short as possible by talking a bit faster so I wouldn't have to edit it because this is really a useful, I said useful, this is really a useless video. This is a rant video and I don't really edit those types of videos because, you know, it's gonna add some unseriousness to it. But yeah, that's the end of the video. There's gonna be more videos. I'm posting another filler video and then probably two actual videos. So, yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye. I hope you enjoy your day. somewhat, because these comments definitely ruined my mood. See you later in the next video.